Secretary,
yes.
The White House has labeled the man who was killed in Minnesota as a domestic terrorist. Is that something you agree with? And have you seen any evidence to
When you
back
perpetuate violence against a government because of ideological reasons and for reasons to resist and perpetuate violence, that is the definition of domestic terrorism. This individual who came with weapons and ammunition to stop a law enforcement operation of federal law enforcement officers committed an act of domestic terrorism. That's the facts.
Where's the evidence of his ideology?
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. So today, federal agents beat and then shot multiple times and killed 37-year-old Alex Jeffrey Pretti, a U.S. citizen, a Minneapolis resident, and a VA nurse. Eyewitness video shows once again reckless, violent, and dangerous federal agents taking the life of a Minnesotan. And rather than following standard law enforcement practice, which is focused on public safety and de-escalation, they have killed another person. And the Trump administration has already called Alex Pretti a domestic terrorist. He was a nurse. We send our heartfelt condolences to his family and to his friends. And all Americans should be outraged at this unaccountable, violent federal force which is operating with impunity in our city. And you need to know, America, that if it can happen here, it can happen in your community too. So we gather here to say, first, I want to say to the President, you must stop Operation Metro Surge immediately and send these ICE agents home so our communities can be safe. Second, it is essential that trusted, impartial state investigators at the BCA are allowed to fully investigate what happened here today. Third, I urge my neighbors to express our grief and outrage at this killing and at the federal invasion of our cities peacefully and with the love that we showed yesterday when so many thousands of us showed up in support of our community. And finally, we must have our Republicans in Congress. They must join with us to condemn this violent and unfettered violent abuse of power and to stop it. And they can do that by refusing to fund this agency so long as it continues to kill and terrorize Americans. That is what Senator Klobuchar and I will be working on in the United States Senate. And I just want to close by thanking so much the local law enforcement and fire departments, not only here in Minneapolis, but all across the state that have been doing everything that they could, everything that you can to keep our cities safe. I once worked in City Hall, and I know what it's like, and I am so grateful for their relentless work to keep our communities safe.
Thank you, Representative McCollum. You know, the day after tens of thousands of Minnesotans showed the world how to stand up peacefully against this administration's cruelty, lawlessness, and unacceptable occupation, and demand that ICE leave our state and end this federal invasion, the world is watching yet again as one of Donald Trump's federal agents have shot and killed another United States citizen in broad daylight in the middle of the street. First, we lost Renee Nicole Good, and now Alex Jeffrey Pretti, a 37-year-old man, a Minnesotan, an ICU nurse, a resident looking out for his neighbors as Minnesotans always do. And I do want to pause and offer my deepest sympathy and profound condolences to Mr. Pretti's family and friends. I am so sorry for your unimaginable loss. And we are once again now being asked to deny what we saw with our own eyes. We watched the videos of a masked federal agent shooting Alex in the back multiple times while he was pinned down by more than 6 other masked federal agents. And once again, DHS has come out with a predetermined narrative that contradicts everything we saw with our own eyes. 2 37-year-old Minnesotans are now dead. A poet and a nurse. For what? We cannot lose any more lives. We need a full, transparent, and comprehensive investigation led by our BCA. And ICE and Border Patrol need to halt all operations in the state and leave immediately. And Congress cannot be complicit in facilitating these lethal operations and federal occupation of our cities. We are standing here as a united front today, pleading for our Republican colleagues who control the Congress and who took the same oath to defend the Constitution and uphold the rule of law that we did, to stand up and stop this. Put your state and your country first. Put it ahead of your loyalty to this president. Minnesotans are in agony, watching their communities terrorized and families torn apart. ICE and CBP agents are traumatizing our communities, violating Minnesotans' constitutional rights, unlawfully detaining and arresting United States citizens, racially profiling people, forcing schools, restaurants, and businesses to close. And people are dying at the hands of these federal agents. It has to stop now before anyone else is hurt. And I return it to